Okay, this is a video about a Fanuc 6, and we have a 130 512 1280 meter board. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on, and it should boot up with the parameters and everything installed. There it is, and you'll see that there's a program. If I do an M99 and a search, you'll see that it flashes search, and because it's completely full, you'll see that the search takes quite a while, but you see how it's jumping up. So this proves that the board is not only full with a part program, one large part program 512K, but it also means that every sector and every memory location is correct, or else you would get an error. So basically this file that I created is just N numbers, and that way it's easy to see if anything's out. And of course the N numbers only go up to 9999, so it has to cycle over, and you'll see that it will count up as it reads pages, or N numbers I should say. You can do a function on the Fanuc 6 B2. In fact, what I'll do is I'll open up the cabinet and show you while it's doing it. There is a parameter write enable switch right down here. It's hard to see, but it's right there. It says enable on. And the board normally fits in the rightmost slot. I've brought it outside so we can do testing. And as you'll see, it's a 30 master board, which is a 6B2. So this is our test stand. It does take a while to go through. There it is cycling. It does take a while to go through. I also wanted to show we have an Orion on here with an Ethernet cable and wireless. So that's how we're connecting to it. And I'm just sort of proving that the board is correct and how it works. You'll notice that it's because it's such a large memory, it takes quite a while to search, searching every page, but this is proof positive. Here it goes, it just cycled another 1,000. So eventually it's going to get to the last one, which is an M99, and then what I'll do is I'll show you how to see how much memory you have. Basically, you put it in edit mode. You'll notice that we're in edit mode for this, and you do cancel origin, and it will go through it. It takes a long time because it's such a big memory. This is the maximum memory for this machine. If you power on holding emergency stop, it will tell you, it will hang on the firmware screen. This one is M52 version 08, and that we have a chart, and that one can take the 1280 meters, but not every Fanuc 6 can take that. All Fanuc 6s can take 320 meters, but only certain software versions can take the 512K. The later the version, the more likely. So if you're over M52 like MA3, you can take it. There is a software version for punch presses, M31, that can only do 320 meters, even though it's off a 30 motherboard. So that's the only exception in the listing. So this is proving that the board is good. It's proving, as I say, that it does. You have to be kind of patient with this installation process because it doesn't always tell you what it's doing. But it is, by the way, we also, not only did we upload a file that completely used all the memory, but we downloaded it and did a file compare just to make sure that everything is going in and coming out correctly. And this is a test to make sure all the pages are written and there's no corruption of memory. So it's sort of proof positive that the board is working great. There are, if you notice on these these Fanuc SRAMs, there's 4 lithium batteries. And those batteries are all but one are at 3.2 volts, which is their normal amount. The other one's at like 3.0. Okay, there we go. So it found it. So that is good. Now remember, I told you that if you do cancel origin, and so if I hit reset and get out of that, and then hit cancel origin, you'll see that it flashes edit, and this is called a condense feature. And once again, it reads through all the pages again, which could take a while, and it will try to compress. This is a really great exercise, not only to see how much memory you have left, like a directory, but it will also verify that all of your pages and all your data is correct. If you ever are uploading a file serially and the power goes out accidentally, you can have corrupted memory, and if you have a corrupted part program, it'll give a parity alarm, and you can reset that, powering on holding the reset key, and it'll wipe out all your part programs. That can be a problem when you have 9,000 macro programs, like a tool changer, that you want to protect, because it will wipe that out too. But make sure you have a good backup. So you'll see that it takes a long time to do anything because the memory is so big. So just know that that's happening. When you do a restore on this, you're going to, and we'll do this exercise ourselves, and just to show you how long it takes, it's almost like 2 minutes for every time we do this, which is kind of long. It's so long that you wonder, but at least it proves that it's working. When you do this, we're going to have parameter write enable on, like when we first install the board, parameter write enable on, and power on holding 0 and delete. And 0 and delete will write zeros to every memory location, and then come up with a system label inconsistent all ats. And then you hit reset to continue, you'll come up with an alarm screen. And of course, one of the alarms is parameter write enables on. And then what I do is I put in the NC parameters first. The options are in 0 to 5 and at 300. So for instance, 2-bit 7 is the serial port, 311 is the baud rate, and those are kind of critical. You can upload them if you want, and of course you can download them as well. I would recommend that you have a backup of your system. It's just important to have a proper backup. One thing as well is don't forget about the settings screen, because that is not in the parameters. It is stored in the bubble, or in this case the SRAM board, but it you'll sit there and put all the things in, and then it won't do what you want, like serially upload or download, and that's so in this case what we're doing is we're doing the condense, which is cancel origin and edit mode, and it's reading through every page, and there you go. So it says there's one file in memory, which is the current file, and there's 0 bytes left. So that is how you get a directory. So that took a while. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put parameter write enable on, which gives a 0. I'm going to turn off the machine, and I'm going to see if I can hold 0 and delete. This might be difficult with one of that. So I'm holding 0 and delete, and you see how it comes up with the system screen, and that is in the process, and I can take my hand off, it's in the process of erasing all of the memory. This is where I tell you get the firmware version, and obviously I have a T for turning, so you might have a 6M for milling, and M52 can take it. So even though it's taking forever, it looks like it's hung, it's actually reading the board and writing zeros. And like we've seen, it seems to take about 2 minutes to do anything with such a large memory. But it will give you the idea of what's happening. So be patient at this point. That's one of the reasons I'm taking this video, is that it looks like it's not doing anything, like it's hung, but it's actually working. So like we had with the M99 search, and like we had with the condense, it's taken about 2 minutes. There it goes. So it's a little less. you'll notice that it now says all ATs, hit reset to continue. And if you hit reset to continue, which I'm going to do right now, what I'll do when I ship this is that I usually just leave it in this state, because then there's no information in the board at all. But I'm going to hit reset to continue, and you'll see it'll boot up normally, and you'll see that you get a 100 alarm, which is the parameter right enable. And the reason that I'm getting the alarm is because there's no parameters, as you can see. Once again, don't forget that you have to put in the setting information as well, like punch code, 1 ISO, and etc. So this is exactly where you want it. You'll put the machine into MDI mode, manual data. You'll get your parameter list, and don't forget to put in parameters. You have to hit a P instead of an O, and then the very first parameter for this one is 10101010, and then I hit input, and you'll see that it will work. Parameter right enable is on. I've got a P, and I'm just going to cycle between each of the units, and that's how you put in the basic parameters. You can also upload them. Our manual has that information. So that, and once again, don't forget to set. Interestingly, because I don't have 2-bit 5 on, 2-bit 7, sorry, 2-bit 5. And remember that these are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 0 on the right and 7 on the left. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to input that. And then when I go to setting, because I now have I can now put in the information. You'll notice I can't put in ISO because I haven't got that option turned on yet. But those are the parameters. If you want to quickly go between parameters, like to 340, use the N and input, and then you'll just jump, and then P to input and T input. That's for the serial port, to use a serial port as your output instead of a tape reader and a Facet 4070 punch. So I'm going to reset it, but that is basically the purpose of this, was to show you that the board's working. Purpose of it to show there's 1280 meters, and the purpose to show is that there's significant delay when you do this. So just know that it's still working when you don't think it is. All right, thank you. Bye now.